Welcome to World of Monsters, my amazing viewers of the monsterhood. Today's question of the day is, can a xenomorph impregnate a xenomorph? So in other words, can a facehugger impregnate a xenomorph? Can a facehugger actually attach itself to another xenomorph's face and insert an egg to produce another xenomorph? So when this question came up, immediately the first thing that came to my mind was, whoa, what an excellent adaptation, as the inner mouth is not only an amazing weapon of the xenomorph, but it's also possibly an anti-facehugger, so an anti-facehugger mechanism. And I guess we could say mechanism since they are sort of mechanical biological creatures, or maybe even not that biological after all. Well, so I was just quickly imagining the ovipositor of the facehugger going into the mouth of the xenomorph, and then not only can the regular mouth close, but maybe when it loses consciousness because of whatever, maybe some gases going in that sedate the xenomorph, but maybe that inner jaw is like an automatic kind of mechanism, and it jumps out to break that ovipositor so that they cannot impregnate one another. What do you guys think of that one? Also, if a xenomorph does in fact get impregnated by another xenomorph, then how can the larva survive within the chest or the belly area? There would seem to not be enough nutrition. Even if the facehugger is taking in some nutrition, since it takes a while for it to deposit the eggs in the first place, maybe during that process it's also sucking in nutrition to kind of feed into the eggs. So within the body of a xenomorph, there isn't much nutrition, not biological nutrition for it. I mean, they're composed of their exoskeleton and the inner fluids, which are extremely acidic. Now let's get off the question for a little bit and think about, so what if it does get impregnated? I would think that the disadvantages would be basic disadvantages of inbred creatures. So if you breed a xenomorph of the same type, because there are different types of xenomorphs, with another of its same type, the new xenomorph would certainly not have the benefits of a true xenomorph that's mixed with a host creature, because usually that DNA seems to depend largely on that creature that it attacked. But if another xenomorph with a xenomorph, it would probably lack in some things. For example, we know that if we breed, humans or other animals, that even the first stage of the inbreeding can result in malfunction in the brain, weaknesses of the brain, and even body. But as some animals, such as snakes, for example, you can inbreed them 2-3 times before you start noticing things where, they're just starting to act strange. So I would think that the xenomorph actually being bred with another one, since they are so dependent on another host's DNA, I would think that the disadvantages would be quite significant. Of course, it all depends on how the xenomorph or the black goo DNA actually works. It depends if the xenomorph has an actual true form to it, an original form, because we've never really seen that. We've seen them impacted by other humans and their DNA, and that's what we know as the basic drone and warrior xenomorphs. But is there some original form? Or is it just an original bacteria type of form, as we saw with the creature from The Thing? The Thing's basic original form is the bacteria that takes over the cells of the host organism, and that's sort of what the xenomorph DNA does as well. So therefore, even if we disregard the whole facehugger on the xenomorph, if somebody implanted a xenomorph egg into... not a xenomorph egg, because it's not a queen egg, a facehugger egg into a xenomorph, or a larva, into the interior of a xenomorph, what would happen? Would it simply just die? Would everything just die and fall apart? Or if it's like the original form is the bacteria, would it turn into the black goo? Or would an original form come out? Or would a step closer to the original form come out? And then if we bred that step of the creature again with another larva within it of a xenomorph, maybe we get closer again to the original form, or maybe a new original form that we would then be creating, and maybe that would be the ultimate xenomorph, the ultimate being. So back to talking about the xenomorph lacking the different DNA of a host creature. I kind of have a feeling that the xenomorph DNA largely depends on different organisms. That alone, it's just sort of not that effective. But when it's combined with another one, it maybe improves, but it takes largely the factors from that one, as I mentioned earlier. So if you take away a different kind of creature's DNA from the xenomorph black goo or DNA, then it seems that it would just be kind of weak or worthless or weakened. So maybe if that would happen, even if they bred, maybe again it would be a very weak creature, just as we talked about with the inbred animals, but maybe even more so. It would come out and just have a few hours to survive unless supported by some sort of life support. Now I've seen it mentioned somewhere out there on the Google machine that somebody said that a xenomorph, a facehugger, wouldn't even know to attack a xenomorph. It wouldn't even comprehend that. Now, and I thought about that, but there are different types of xenomorph, such as we see in the comic book. We have the red ones, and the black ones, and we also see those in toy forms. And there's more than that, but we have those two, and they had a war amongst themselves. So sure, now the facehuggers can see the other one as an enemy, but would they see them as a mating partner? What say you? So that's an interesting discussion and a lot of questions there. What do you guys think? Do you think, first of all, that it would be possible for a facehugger to naturally breed into another xenomorph? Would it be able to breed into a queen? What would happen then? And then the next question, even so, if it would implement an egg or a larva and it would develop and it would have enough nutrition to develop, what would come out of that? What kind of creature? Would it be the new ultimate xenomorph? Or would it be some kind of weakling? Or would it be a human being? Wait, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed this brief episode while I prepare all the crazy monstrosities that are supposed to be. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out the main YouTube page here. Wait, before you click away, the main YouTube page, I say that because I've got a lot of monster series, and once you figure out how videos run on this channel, maybe you can enjoy it and even predict future episodes. So anyway, have fun, check out the channel. We're all over the social media. Yes, we're all over social media, so check us out around there. And until next time, if you haven't subscribed yet and you love monsters, then what are you doing with your life? If you like these kind of short, brief videos and questions, leave me a like and let's discuss below. You know I love to talk with you guys. So until next time, this has been a crazy question only at World of Monsters.